Hello, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of BIZTOOls. Welcome to Business Plus for December 2023. It's going to be interesting how we all analyse 2023, isn't it? There's some reports, and there's one recently from the National Australia Bank, which indicated that accountancy firms are going very well, or over 77% of accountancy firms. That report also indicated that 85% of the firms they surveyed were offering advisory services. They didn't indicate what percentage of the firms they surveyed were delivering the services. But it does highlight that many accountancy firms around Australia have taken on board the concept that they should at least be promoting that they're offering business advisory services. Just shows that there will be more competition in the year ahead. So I hope that the Business Plus newsletter is helping you to identify clients and prospects that might be interested in these advisory services. My suggestion, as I make each month, is that you read the Business Plus newsletter, which we are uploading at 12 noon on Friday, before you send it to your clients. Go through the various articles. New grant helps small businesses. Well, let's think about this. We've included details of who the priority groups are for this grant, and it's quite wide. And we've also given you a link to a more detailed list that's been supplied by AusIndustry as to who might be interested. Why not think about your clients that fit those categories? Most of your clients are going to fit the first requirement, turnovers under $20 million. If they're over $20 million, I'm sorry, they're not eligible. Secondly, they need to be a company, but they needn't be a company today. If you think they could be eligible for this grant, you could organise the formation of a company and transfer the business activities into that company so that they could apply for the grant. The grant comes in two components. The first one is for the early stage commercialisation project, where there is a grant available of up to $250,000. These are on a 50-50 basis, so obviously $500,000 worth of work might have been identified. Now, this will primarily be a company that's still in the research and development phase, but has done enough work to identify that they have an interesting product, process, or service that meets the guidelines, which we have also sent you the paper that we've prepared, and it spells it out in some detail. The second phase is the commercialisation and growth projects. Now, the grant's up to $5 million, but it starts at $100,000. This is really for people who are going to go to the full commercialisation basis. And I think it's great if you've got clients that are doing this work. In my consultancy firm at present, I've got 3 of these who we've been waiting for this grant to finally be announced, because after all, the government promised it in the budget speech back in May this year. Last we've got it. Unfortunately, it's not fully in gear at present. Now, you'll notice that the government has indicated that there's going to be advisors appointed, but I don't think they're going to do any of the key work that your clients are going to need undertaking. And in fact, a lot of that key work, I think, will be funded by this grant once they finalise all the guidelines. So the preparation of a business plan, the work required to help a client decide whether they're going to be an early stage innovation company and then get that status, or raise capital as a crowdsource funding equity raising, or indeed if they've got assets they can offer as security, they're going to try to borrow the money to fund their 50% share. Whichever way it goes, they're going to need help from you, and hopefully the material which we've produced within ESS BIZTOOls will help you do that. The next article, we move on to something completely different, and that's, just bring it up on my screen, and that's the companies don't run themselves. This is a look at people undertaking scaling up, but scaling up can apply to all different types of businesses, can't it? You might have a client that's only got a turnover of $500,000 at present, who's aspiring to have a $2 million turnover in 4 years' time. That's scaling up. You'll have other clients that might have a turnover of $7 million at present and is looking for a $40 million turnover in 5 years. That's real scaling up. They are all going to run into some problems because they all will need capital that the majority that I've worked with have not anticipated that. They forget about the investment in debtors, stock, capital expenditure, training of staff, patenting fees and expenses. All these things cost money. And just because they're wanting to scale up doesn't mean that their creditors are going to be lenient in their terms. In fact, some of them might even be tougher because they are relatively new businesses. So think about who's just starting a business or who is on this scaling up process, wanting to grow their business. And why not give them a ring next week, a few days after you've sent the newsletter out to them, and inquire, go and have a cup of coffee and have a talk to them. And obviously, those clients who you have identified that might be eligible for the industry growth program, that's what I think you should be doing. Go and have a yarn to them. Unfortunately, the vast majority of SMEs do not understand that accountants can provide additional services beyond income tax. And that's no one's fault other than us as an accountancy profession. Because for years, we've had clients think that all that accountants in public practice could do is prepare income tax returns. There's a lot more we can do, but we need to tell the key customers, after all, they are going to pay the bill. So talk to them and use this newsletter to open that conversation. And if you don't think the newsletter does that, please tell me, send me a note. When we don't hear from people, we think everyone is happy. I hope you are. And I hope you're getting feedback from your clients that they learn valuable information from these newsletters. And the next article we've got is businesses require regular accounts. I think they should be preparing accounts monthly. They should be having a weekly performance report prepared. And this will all be in the new products that we're producing for launching early in the new year. But please refer to that. And again, follow up clients that need discussions with. Those who aren't really monitoring their debtors' days outstanding. Those who are delaying paying their creditors. It can be quite critical at times to make sure that key creditors are being paid at the very least if they're supplying products that your client would have difficulty securing anywhere else. They cut off supply, where do they go then? So we've gone through and talked about a few things there: gross profit percentages, average sale prices, cash flow analysis. This is the business metrics and key performance indicators that large businesses heavily rely on. And all that small businesses are is smaller versions of large businesses. Your clients still need the same type of data to help them run their businesses. And you're the key player in making sure that data is going to be prepared accurately and regularly to give to the client. So thank you very much for your support during 2023. It has been a difficult year. If you like our services, I would appreciate it if you could give a recommendation to one of your colleagues, maybe not the firm next door, but one that's a few suburbs away from you or a few cities away, new state. If you meet people at conferences, if you think our services are okay, please give us a referral. I'd be very grateful for that. So thank you very much for your support. Merry Christmas to you and your team and to your clients. Thank you very much. Goodbye.